Hi, your next challenge is called Eliminate Odd Numbers Within an Array. Create a function that takes an array of numbers and returns only the even values. Check out the examples. We have the numbers 1 through 8, and as you would suspect, 2, 4, 6, 8 are even. They have some with larger values here. Go ahead and look through those and ensure yourself that they return only even values. And then I think we're good. The notes return all even numbers in the order they were given. Okay, got to maintain order. And all test cases contain valid numbers ranging from 1 to 3,000. Fine. So we'll head over to the code, pause the video, and solve this, and resume when you're ready. I'm going to use link for my solution. It's got a really nice method for filtering that I want to use. So for this, I'm going to use a method called where. And we know our array is an enumerable because it implements that interface. And so where, look at this, this is perfect, filters a sequence of values based on a predicate. And we said before, a predicate's a fancy word for something that returns true or false. So, go down to the example if you want to see that. Here's a nice one, fruits where its length is less than 6. So yeah, apple, mango, grape, the shorter ones. You see these long names being excluded from the output. Pretty cool, right? It filters really nice. We're trying to filter out odd values. So, in our case, we're dealing with integers. This t source is a generic. It's a placeholder, so you can use it with many different types. Integer, string, boolean, whatever type, your custom class, whatever you want to throw in there. It's provided a source and a function. We're going to use a lambda here for this func. We've talked about that a little bit before, meaning. And so you can see in the signature down here, remember the this keyword, which looks really funny when you're learning this. It's an extension method, which means you're actually going to call this where on the array itself, what they call the source. This generic IEnumerable, this is our array of int. And so when we have that, we can simply say dot where. This where is now a method that's available to us. And then it's going to take an argument, which is a function that's going to have an integer as input and return a boolean. And they call that predicate. Aptly named. So, this is really good for us. Filter. Let's go. This can be really simple then. We can go return array where the enumerable class got extended with this method. There's an extension made. So now we have this where method available. Where, and remember that func, we're going to use a lambda for that. I'm going to use n. I think that's a nice lettered variable name to use for integers, n, where. And now what can we do to see if the integer is even or odd? We did this in a previous video, hopefully you remember. You can go n modulo 2, check if it's equal to 0. Any even number, if you divide it by 2, there's no remainder, and conversely, if you have an odd number and you divide by 2, you're going to have a remainder of 1. So, that's going to give us just the evens. Now, this isn't quite complete. I'll show you where this blows up. Or maybe, feel free to pause and make a guess. We had an error on line 7, cannot implicitly convert type enumerable of int to an integer array, right? This where should tell you the return type returns an IEnumerable of the generic parameter, which was int in our case. So we're getting an IEnumerable of int back. IEnumerable of int doesn't match this return type. So they even have a little bit of useful advice here. An explicit conversion exists. Are you missing a cast? Yeah. And we have a handy method for this. I will just convert it to an array. And you can see that here. If you want to look up how that works under enumerable methods, you have this toArray. That'll get the output in the form we want. So if we try this, there we go. Really nice one-liner, really clear. I like it. Hopefully the doc pages are starting to look less scary to you. You know, this, I remember when you're new, is just like, whoa, what kind of garbage mess is that? And what the heck is this thing doing as a parameter, you know? And we haven't talked a lot about extension methods, but we will. Again, we're taking it in bits. Hopefully a little more seeps in each time. Hopefully this is looking a little bit more clear. And you noticed how we didn't pass 2 arguments to where, right? We had just the func. There's just one parameter there. So that this collection is not one of the parameters. It means that we can call where method right from it. So you can take your array and just hit dot where, and now you have this where method available. But you do have to provide this argument as the single argument, and you can look up func again if you want to get a better idea of that. That's what we had here. Took our generic type, which was integer, and it's returning this predicate, you know? That n modulo 2 is either true or false. That's a Boolean. It's either true or false. And then, yeah, have this nice convenient toArray to get the output we want. Very handy. So, if you have questions, keep looking at the docs. I bet they're starting to look less scary, and that's a really good sign. So, keep up the good work, and we'll see you in the next video.